Well, live from Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for Southwestern Athletic Conference volleyball action on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. And making her CatEye Network debut is Jade Barquette. Jade, welcome. It's going to be a good one tonight.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Yeah, it's going to be an incredible night of volleyball. Texas Southern second place in the SWAC right now, coming into Moore Gymnasium. But the Wildcats on a 4-game win streak, trying to get themselves higher up in the rankings. It's going to be an impressive night of volleyball, and it's going to be high scoring.
This is the battle of two of the better defensive teams in the conference. Second place in blocks per set are the Wildcats. Texas Southern doesn't get many blocks, but they're great on the back row. Second place in the conference in digs per set. This is a Texas Southern team that comes in 6-1 in the SWAC. Their only loss to Prairie View A&M, who currently sits number 1.
And they're coming here this weekend on Sunday to play the Wildcats. So it's going to be an impressive weekend of volleyball in the SWAC. Just how these games shake out.
Tough weekend of SWAC volleyball coming up. Texas Southern, of course, brings great players to bear, including Lauren Battle, Courtney Collier, and Morelia Diaz. We'll give all that and more after this break for the national anthem and the starting lineups. And then coming up next at SWAC Volleyball on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV.
For the month of October, each holiday, we honor someone for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tonight, we honor Louise Anderson, both your original mentor and former coach. As a person to raise awareness and show support for those affected by breast cancer, tonight we honor the late Chelsea Gilliam, former BCU head coach, bowling coach, who passed away early this year at the age of 35 after a near-decade-long battle with breast cancer. Gilliam was hired to lead the Bethune-Cookman bowling program in October of 2018 at Youngstown State, where she served as the first head coach in the history of the women's program. Join us as we honor Chelsea Gilliam and all those who continue to fight towards a cure for breast cancer. Let's get ready to meet tonight's lineup, starting with the visiting team, Texas Southern Tigers. Starting number 3, Gracie Lee. Starting number 7, Morgan Queen, Bill Blocker. Number 9, Courtney Collier, Bill Blocker. Number 11, Ava Ray, center. Number 14, Lauren Battle, outside hitter.
starting lineups are on the floor, and we are just about set for volleyball action from historic Moore Gymnasium. It's Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, 8-11 overall, 5-2 with the SWAC, 4-match winning streak after a rough start, and the Texas Southern Tigers, 7-13 overall, 6-1 in the SWAC. Their only loss to undefeated Prairie View, who we'll see here on Sunday afternoon. Texas Southern in the road, black with maroon shoulders, gray Texas Southern on the chest, gray numbers with a maroon outline. Bethune-Cookman, as it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it is the Dig Pink game here at Moore Gym, are in pink tops, maroon numbers with maroon accents. Of course, we got head coach Brittany Williams decked out in the all-pink suit on the far sideline as well. Jade, who are you looking at in this match on the Bethune-Cookman side? To me, it's Amaya Jennings. She's had a ridiculous hot streak these last 4 matches.
I was going to say the same. Also, AJ Simmons, she's come up huge in blocks, just giving the team momentum and big moments in sets.
On the Texas Southern side, watch out for Lauren Battle. She's their team leader in service aces. Grace Hill, their leader in kills. And Morelia Diaz, the team leader in digs at the libero spot. And of course, you can't forget talk about liberos without talking about Stephanie Carvalho, the 3-time SWAC Defensive Player of the Week, leads the conference in digs by a wide margin with 317, almost 5%, as she wears the white top and maroon bottoms. Texas Southern will serve left to right in this first set, and here we go. Of Ava Ray will set it first time. Backside, here we go. Jennings, off hands, in the corner. 1-0 Wildcats.
Great start for the Wildcats. Amaya Jennings, the one person that you would want to start off in this match, getting that kill.
Maya Jennings has moved into 3rd place in kills on the team. That's her 134th of the season. She'll go back to serve. Set from Ava Ray, middle attack, off the hands, and that'll go through the back, 1-1. As the teams trade points early, and Lauren Battle is going to go back to serve. Lauren Battle comes from a great volleyball legacy. Her mom, Tara Battle, 4-time Olympian in women's volleyball. That one's tipped off the block and out of play. Very crafty by Tiana Preston to get the BCU point. 2-1.
Going back to what you were saying about Battle, though, to have that figure in your life as your mom, who's somebody that you lean on to coach and get you through these times when you're maybe struggling, volleyball is huge.
That's a 2nd straight pipe attack for Texas Southern. Courtney Collier puts it down. She's the team leader in blocks for Texas Southern, but contributes on the offensive side too with 103 kills. Off the court, Collier also works as a local club coach in the Houston area. That one's tight to the net. Big rising hit from Preston is fought off. Far pin. Big block for the Wildcats. That'll be a point.
That's exactly what I was talking about with AJ Simmons. She comes up big in those block moments, tied 2-2. You need a point right now. Texas Southern, you don't want them to get an inch. She comes up huge. That ball deflected out of bounds.
Sierra Herndon also in there, gets the half block for the Cats as well. The Wildcats only 2nd in blocks in the SWAC, not where they usually are, which is way ahead. Florida A&M has more blocks on the year than them. Still averaging 2.2 per set, Bethune-Cookman. They lead 3-2. Here's Nola Hempel to serve. In on the near side, Ray, middle attack, tipped over the block. Great dig by Preston. And here comes Texas Southern again. Preston, tipped down the line. Ray keeps it alive. Libero set near pin, it hits the pin. And the Wildcats will take a 4-2 lead off the tip attempt from Lee.
Great rally there for both sides. Texas Southern trying to go for the tip a few times over the net. Wildcats were aware of it the whole way.
When you get those tip shots, it's usually because the player attacking sees that the block is set and doesn't want to hit it straight at him. 4-2 Cats. Here's Hempel again. High, no rotation on that serve. Another tip shot. Off the hands, it goes to the back. Preston saves it. Carvalho has to really play a free ball over from behind the backcourt. And then an easy in-system swing on that middle attack for Emery Harper. And Texas Southern closes to within 4-3. That middle attack working for Texas Southern early.
Harper blasts that one right through the middle of the Wildcats.
We'll see if we get a Wildcats maybe to commit a second blocker to that middle attack instead of sending them out wide, which may free up some options on the outside for Texas Southern here. Texas Southern to serve. Preston, overpass. Easy point for Ava Houston. And it's tied at 4.
Wildcats looking there like it might have hit the pin. Trying to talk to the referee there. They will not change their call.
4-4, powerful serve, hits Preston in the back row. Wildcats have to tip it over in the middle. Libero set, far side, waiting a long time for it was Stafford. Comes back the other way, block back covered by the Cats. Set up far side, blocked again, jousted the net, won by Texas Southern. Morgan McQueen, who has the highest hitting percentage on the team, gets the kill. And Texas Southern with 3 straight points takes a 5-4 lead.
Unfortunately that the Wildcats couldn't get a point there. Jennings and Carvalho had made great defensive stops.
The serving run continues for Courtney Collier. Wildcats in system, cross-court swing, and it goes out of play. And it's 6-4, Texas Southern. Kennedy Walker's on this service run right now, a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Lots of local talent on this Texas Southern team. Houston, one of the biggest hotbeds for youth volleyball in the country, but that is a service error and gives a point right back to the Wildcats. Texas Southern second in the SWAC as a team in service aces with 101, but also has 129 service errors, so really aggressive but sometimes wild with their serving. In system, slide attack, off the tape, Wildcats keep it alive, but it's gonna be a free ball and it doesn't even get over the net as Carvalho mishits it.
Unfortunate right there for the Wildcats. They were doing everything that they needed to. Just a little bit rushed there by Carvalho to get it over the net.
7-5 Tigers. Fastball serve out the back of the court by Courtney Collier. And it is 7-6 as the Wildcats stay alive. The last 2 serves for Texas Southern have been errors.
You talked about their errors on their serves. They have a lot of them. They rank high in the conference of them. That's something the Wildcats are going to want to use to their advantage tonight.
Set up for a far pin attack behind the 3-meter line. Great pass by Carvalho. Middle tip by Williams is dug out. And then a fastball hit from the back line. Can't get over the net. Hits the tape and drops from Grace Hill. A little bit of an awkward setup from the libero, Morelia Diaz, on that one. 7-7.
Wasn't really high enough for her to get the tip over that she wanted it. Trying to be a little bit flashy there gives the Wildcats a point.
Carvalho, that's standing overhand set. Near pin, down the line, Carvalho digs it out. It goes into the rafters. The Wildcats will keep it alive, but play a free ball over to Texas Southern. Tight to the net. Here's the set, far pin. Tap to the middle, kept up, right near the pin. This one's got to go over. It does. And once again, the middle attack is good for Morgan McQueen, her second kill of this first set to give Texas Southern an 8-7 lead.
That was a very chaotic rally back and forth between the two sides. Wildcats need to get a hold of their game plan. Right now, Texas Southern doing a great job of executing when they can.
It'll be Diaz, the libero, to serve. And in system, big swing for Morgan Wingo. Haven't seen much of Morgan Wingo this season. Only her 18th kill, the sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia. Didn't see her at all last year as she redshirted as a member of Bethune-Cookman, but also Wingo has some USA sub-team experience, the USA Volleyball under-18s. And a serve goes into the net from Melissa Gonzalez. That's only her 9th service error of the season to 26 aces. Usually sure-handed than that from the service line. And I talked about the service ace to error discrepancy. The Wildcats come into the game 6th in aces with 97, but only 63 errors on the year. It goes to Wingo again. Up into the rafters. Diaz has to play it to the middle for a free ball. What can the Wildcats do? Pushed across. Oh, what a great shot. The tip from A.J. Simmons is sweet, and the Wildcats tie the game at 9.
Floated in the air was A.J. Simmons, just dropped that one perfectly on the court. Texas Southern had no chance to get that one.
Full rotation done for the Cats. Here's Amaya Jennings back to serve. Good serve, long run for Ava Ray. She puts a great set on it though. Wildcats block it back and covered by Texas Southern. That set behind ahead of Lee has to play it over her head. Middle attack, and the Wildcats try and give Texas Southern some of their own medicine. And the free ball goes out the back for a Wildcat point, and this back and forth first set continues 10-9 Cats. Not often you see an error on a free ball.
But the Wildcats will take it. They're just really disrupting Texas Southern right now.
Another great serve by Amaya Jennings forces a free hit. Here we go. Full head of steam for Preston. Oh, she got it in the corner. What a shot.
With the way it came off of her fingertips, I thought that was going way out. It drops perfectly in the back corner of the court. A perfect hit for Preston.
That's why Tiana Preston is the leader in kills again. Another great serve forces Texas Southern out of system. Middle attack, Simmons off hands, bounced around off the tape, and that'll be 4 contacts, and the Wildcats will get another point. All of this is coming from the brilliant serving of Amaya Jennings. Timeout Texas Southern, as head coach Alexis Austin needs to figure out a way to deal with this.
Absolutely. That is a perfect opportunity for them to take a timeout, reset, figure out what's going on, why the Wildcats are putting Texas Southern so out of system. This game is back and forth the whole entire time. We haven't had a clear leader until right now, and even right now is a close game.
Last 5 points, it's 4-1 BCU. Texas Southern calls a timeout. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Turillo, and featuring the expertise of Bethune-Cookman's sports information staff. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune into 1380 WELE every Saturday to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. Jade, you were on your first episode of Hail Wildcats Radio this past week. How'd you find it?
I thought it was great. I love talking to you guys. I love talking about sports. I'm really excited about being here at Bethune-Cookman and getting to know all the teams in the SWAC. I'm really excited to talk some more this week. Football getting a bye week, but 2 huge volleyball matches. Going to be a great podcast episode coming up next week.
Speaking of the SWAC, only 1 other match in the SWAC this evening in volleyball. Still a fair ways away from getting that one started. It's a big one. Alabama A&M at Alabama State. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central in Montgomery. And, of course, after that hour, we will keep you updated on all the goings-on in a tight SWAC volleyball standings. Bethune-Cookman 5-2, Alabama A&M 5-1. So a BCU win and an A&M loss today could jump the Wildcats into 2nd place in the table going into Sunday's matchup against Prairie View. But can't count your chickens before they hatch. That's a great shot. Tip off the middle block by Grace Lee and out of bounds.
I've never heard that. Count your chickens before they hatch? That's
You've
good.
never heard that?
No, I've never heard that.
I say that all the time. You got to get used to hearing that if you're going to be on the air with me. 12-10. BCU still leads. Preston first contact. Awkward for Gonzalez. That'll be sort of a free ball, but misplayed by Harper. And a free one sent back to the Cats. Preston has to reach behind her head and got blocked by Gracie Lee, the junior out of Dallas, Texas.
What a great set from Gonzalez, cross court all the way over to Preston on the other side.
Preston went a little early and had to reach back for it and couldn't place it around the block. Preston again targeted on serve. Back set for Simmons, kaboom! 13-11.
Back set from Gonzalez right into the line for A.J. Simmons. Powerful swing on that one, drops right in the back corner.
The trading goes back and forth as 13-11. Kaylee Williams with a nice serve. Great play by Diaz, though. Tip to the middle. Preston sets up Gonzalez, who sets up Jennings, who got blocked, but did that stay in? No, it did not. Wildcat point. Cats get a little bit lucky there, as that one was read all the way. Simmons threw it right at Ray, and thankfully it spun out of bounds off the block.
So much spin on that ball. You didn't know when it was going to hit the ground.
Fastball serve from Williams. Long run for Ray to the far pin. Behind the 3-meter line, a big shot is dug out by Preston. They go to Simmons again. Thrown forward over the net. Texas Southern digs it out. Here's a tip at the net. Gonzalez cleans it up. Back set. Preston punches it over. Kept up by Collier. Back row attack again for Texas Southern. Fought off by Gonzalez. Here's Preston again with a full head of steam. Only can tip it though. And here comes Lee, big shot off the block, off the tape. Texas Southern side of the net, dumped to the middle by the setter. It goes back over the net and put down easy for a Texas Southern point. That's the best rally of the match so far, but it goes the Tigers' way.
Really great by both sides to keep themselves in that point. Wildcats just made too many errors on that one. Williams having to set a few times, Preston not being able to get her full swing on it.
Back set for Simmons. Did that go off the block? No, it just went straight out the back. And Texas Southern closes to within one, 14-13, as Courtney Collier goes back to serve. Collier, second tallest player on the team at 6'1". Serve just teardrops over the net. Thankfully, Gonzalez was ready for it. And then Preston squeezes it through the block, and it just dribbles down the shirt of Lee onto the Texas Southern side of the net.
Really a powerful swing by Preston. Texas Southern trying to just stop that there with the block, but like you mentioned, just squeezed right down into the shirt of Texas Southern. And Wildcats again keeping their lead with 2 points.
Nola Hempel off the bench and onto the service line. Great one. It's an ace.
And who other than Maya Williams serving the ball for the Wildcats. Another ace for her. Excuse me.
Hempel.
Yeah, my bad.
No. Hempel, remember, against Florida A&M, started the game on serve and went on an 11-0 run before an error finally got her off the service line. And a big block in the middle. Texas Southern keeps it alive. And a great hit. That's from well behind the 3-meter line for Kennedy Walker. Check that Lauren Battle. And Texas Southern refuses to go away. The gap's still just 2, 16-14, and Walker goes back to serve.
We knew this was going to be a battle. Number 2 team in the conference coming in here to Moore Gymnasium. Wildcats riding high after 4 straight wins. It wasn't going to be easy for either team.
Flat serve met by Carvalho. Middle attack blocked.
Preston just stuffed there by Texas Southern. Now we see them kind of getting into their system of play, easing into this game as we're at 16-15 right now. That's a little halfway between this first set. Texas Southern really getting into a groove now.
Maya Jennings first contact. Back to Jennings behind the 3-meter line. Did it touch a hand on the way through? Yes, it did, says the up official. Point Bethune-Cookman, even though it landed outside the court. And we might get our first challenge here. No, just a substitution as Riley Davis comes in. Davis, the senior out of San Antonio. And I think we are going to have a challenge on this one. And so the Wildcats lead 17-15, but that under threat as a swing that went out of bounds by Preston is being challenged by Texas Southern. The initial call from the up official was it hit hands on the way through. Coach Alexis Austin disputes that. Austin, in her 5th season at the head of the Lady Tigers, has spent her entire, or most of her career as a coach in the state of Texas. Just a quick jaunt to Virginia, to Liberty, as her non-Texas stop. Other than that, was an assistant coach at Rice. One of the top players in the country back in the 2012 high school recruiting class, made her way to Colorado and had a great season, a great career as a Buffalo, 2-time All Pac-12, and made 2 NCAA tournament appearances before playing professionally in Poland and for the U.S. National Development Team, and now a 5th season as a head coach of Texas Southern. And one of her assistant coaches is a name very familiar to Bethune-Cookman volleyball fans, Aaliyah Dallas, who is 4th in blocks in Bethune-Cookman history at 242. Got that in just 3 years here before she finished up in Texas with her final grad year and now a coach at Texas Southern.
When you have two coaches like that on this roster with that sort of resume and pedigree, you can see why this team is so successful this season and in seasons before. They really have powerhouse hitters, but they know how to defend well, and they're coached very well, and you can see that when they come on the court.
The other two coaches on the Texas Southern staff are Ariel Alcocer and Erica Levitt. Of course, the only listed assistant coach for Bethune-Cookman is Rachel Henderson, and now in her second year behind Brittany Williams, who's now made it a decade leading the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, already owns the all-time wins mark, owns all but one win all time for the program against Florida A&M, and has just been incredibly successful as the head coach of this Wildcats program. Still waiting and chasing that elusive conference title. Hasn't happened yet, but in a conference that's as wide open as the SWAC is this year, all you got to do is get to that tournament and have a good week.
Absolutely. Anything can happen on any night here in first SWAC volleyball. The Wildcats have been doing so well this season. It seems like everything is starting to fall into place. So for Coach Williams, could this be the year that she finally gets that prestigious trophy and that ring? Who knows? We'll get to see that tournament, and like you mentioned, anything could happen.
This matchup has favored Bethune-Cookman mostly. The Wildcats 6-2 against Texas Southern all time. Both wins for Texas Southern have been in recent history since the Wildcats joined the SWAC in 2021. Of course, the Wildcats bounced Texas Southern from the SWAC tournament in the quarterfinals last year as the Wildcats went on to fall to FAMU in the semifinals. Of course, the Florida A&M team that ultimately won the SWAC and would go on to the NCAA tournament where they would lose in the first round to Nebraska. We are still awaiting the result of this challenge by Texas Southern to see if there was a block touch on a swing by Preston that landed out of court, but initially called by the up rough as a touch. And the down rough is spending a long time at the replay monitor, which tells me that it's closer than initially what we thought it was.
We have taken so long on this replay. We have a dance battle going on between the two benches. There was a few seconds ago.
Listen, I would give the Wildcats an edge in any dance battle. Have you seen some of the social media clips going around about the antics they get up to on the bench? And even Coach Williams has said, listen, I just turn my back, focus on the play, and let them do whatever they want behind me.
They are just doing whatever they can to boost the morale, the confidence, the energy of not only their team, but the atmosphere in Moore Gymnasium. And it's all really led by Sienna Lawrence, who just is such a character. Her energy is through the roof, and they make up little dances like riding a bike. They make a bike out of one another. It's kind of incredible, and I love what they bring to this game.
Football season is back at the beach, and you can catch every touchdown, tackle, and everything in between as the Wildcats will get the point. So the review favors BCU. Every football game is free on the CatEye Radio Network with me, Michael Cirillo, and Daryl Natil, my co-commentator, and our sideline reporter Sabrina Petit-Holm on the local airwaves at 1380 WELE. Not local, no problem. We're all, oh, there's an ace. First swing from Riley Davis after a long break for the review. Gets an ace, and the Wildcats lead 18-15. Of course, all the games, you can find the booth cam for football on the CatEye Network on YouTube. Far pin, big swing, way out. Wildcats lead 19-15. Or, brand new for this year, you can go to bcuathletics.com/radio on your smart TV, computer, or mobile device powered by MixLR and get lossless free internet radio as well. So many ways to follow BCU football this year. 19-15 Cats, here we go. Big swing, Jennings! Kaboom down the line!
3 in a row coming out of that long break. You never know how your team is going to respond, how the other team could attack you once you have an extended break like that for the point, to check for the point. This team is coming out rocking. 3 in a row. Great service by Riley Davis and fantastic defense for the Wildcats are putting them ahead 5 here in this first set.
Something the Wildcats have done better this year than in past years is close out sets when they have a lead. Teardrop. Here's an in-system middle attack, and it's stuffed! Oh, Sierra Herndon said, no, sir. 21-15, timeout Tigers.
That was electric, Michael. Sierra Herndon steps up, big block, stares down Texas Southern. An impeccable performance coming out of that break. 4 straight points for the Wildcats. And a game that's gone so back and forth here in this first set. They have started to run away with it later on.
As I mentioned, right, they're doing a better job of finishing sets when they're ahead late. It is something that we've had a criticism about in past years with Wildcats volleyball teams. They get ahead or they come back and not be able to finish comebacks, just falling late in sets. And this year they've done a lot better job at that. It was in this 4-match winning streak, 4 3-1s and a 3-0. The 3-1s against Bama State, Florida A&M, Southern, and the 3-0 last Sunday against Alcorn State. Bethune-Cookman football is back on the gridiron Saturday, October 25th at 3 p.m. as the Wildcats host the Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. It's homecoming at Daytona Stadium. You can watch all the action live on SWAC TV or listen free at 1380 WELE in Daytona Beach or bcuathletics.com/radio, powered by MixLR. Wildcats up 25-15 in set 1. The service run continues by Riley Davis. And is that in? No. Morgan Wingo thought she had blocked Taryn Stafford on that far side, but just landed out of play. And Texas Southern finally sides out, but it's not to last long as Grace Hill only finds the twine with her serve, and it's 22-16. Texas Southern looks rattled right now.
Absolutely. They had that first time out, came out, looked stronger, looked more composed, and then as soon as that point was given to the Wildcats after the extended break, they've gone back into that shell.
Carvalho, libero to libero, serve, tipped over the hands. That's a great shot by Ava Houston, right over Williams' fingertips and dropped into the donut in the middle of the field, or middle of the floor where nobody was. Wildcats still with a 22-17 advantage here in set number 1. Morelia Diaz, the Dominican Republic native, back to serve. Hempel, long run to the 3-meter line to set it up. Tip, back covered, punched across by Jennings. And then Carvalho can't get to it.
There's a high volleyball IQ play by Jennings to just see the pressure from Texas Southern shifted to one side, trying to push the ball to that back court. But Texas Southern recovers well and then earns that point on just a little tip in between the defensive lines for the Wildcats.
Gotta get a side out here for Bethune-Cookman. Don't want to give Texas Southern a big late set rally. Hempel pushes it back. Jennings, big swing. Whistle and a stoppage of play. And it's into the net for Texas Southern on the block. So the Wildcats will get the point anyway, even though I think that ridiculous swing by Jennings was going straight out off of Keegan St. Junius anyway. So the Wildcats 2 points from safety in set number 1, 23-18. Good serve by Gonzalez. Jennings to Gonzalez, back to Jennings, squeezed it through between Collier and Harper, and the Wildcats have set point.
Keep feeding Amaya Jennings. She's on fire right now. She's doing everything right. She's finding the space. She's hitting it into the hands of Texas Southern, and it drops right into the center of their court.
Set point for the Cats. Carvalho gigs it out, but the Wildcats are in the net. And it'll be 24-19, give the ball back to the Tigers. The Tigers bringing in Gracie Lee on that front line to partner with Courtney Collier. Wildcats trying to hit for set point. The middle attack is dug out by Ray. Down the line, great dig by Carvalho. Gonzalez, tip shot Jennings. Back set into the net from Battle. And the first set goes to the Wildcats, 25-19 after that long review, the Wildcats run away and hide and take a 1-0 lead.
I don't think they hid anywhere. I think they were right in front of Texas Southern's face. They knew exactly what they were doing. The execution that Bethune-Cookman is playing with right now is unlike that we've seen in the other games. When they played FAMU last time here at home, they were just hammering them over and over and over again. Texas Southern battled with them in that first set, trading points, and then after that big break, like you said, it just opened up for the Wildcats, and they ran away with this one.
They really did a great job on serve and serve receive for Bethune-Cookman. I mean, you look at that first set, some stats, 2 aces to none for Texas Southern, just 1 service error to 3 for Texas Southern. Full stats from that first set. Texas Southern had more kills than Bethune-Cookman, 13 to 11, but of course the 3 service errors and 7 hitting errors for the Tigers as well. Tigers hit 158, Wildcats hit 219. Wildcats had 1 more assist, 11 to 10. I already mentioned the 2 service aces to none, the 1 service ace to 3 for the Wildcats. Total blocks 2 to 2 in that first set. Digs even as well. Wildcats take a 1-0 lead on Dig Pink Night here at Moore Gym. This is a Texas Southern team, Jay, that has no reason to come into this match not confident, not thinking, oh, we're just going to walk this, because they have most of their other matches in conference. Their only loss, a 3-1 loss to Prairie View. That was at home, but that was against a Prairie View team that looks like the best team in the conference right now. But, 3-2 win over Alcorn, 3-1 over Southern, 3-0 over Valley, 3-2 over Jackson State, who swept us here at Moore Gym. They look very good. And then coming off the back of 2 3-0 wins last week at home against Pine Bluff and Grambling State, they got punched in the mouth a little bit here in set number 1.
Yeah, they just looked really rattled from the beginning. They never seemed like they were in control of the match at all. And then Wildcats just took full advantage of that. You think you can feel the energy coming from this team, whether it be the bench or the players that are on the court, and they just kept executing over and over again. The reactions from head coach Brittany Williams were impeccable. She does a little fist bump, and then she's right back into business. You can tell the excitement is exuding from this Wildcat side. Now, like you mentioned earlier, can they close it out? Can they continue this run and keep it up for 2 more sets and send Texas Southern home?
Remember, the Wildcats are still without preseason all-SWAC player Mecca Freeman, who's been out now for over a month with a high ankle sprain, and they hope to get her back before the tournament. But have gone on this run where they've won 5 of their first 8 games in conference without Mecca Freeman, who is supposedly one of the top attackers in the conference this year. But it's all about next man up. And I think the reason that we've seen maybe the rise of Amaya Jennings is she is slotted into that spot where Mecca Freeman would have be playing if she was healthy.
And like you mentioned, it's next woman up mentality for Amaya Jennings to be able to step into this role and be so dominant that only gives the Wildcats more confidence. And for Mecca Freeman to make a recovery, we hope that she does come back for the tournament. The Wildcats will be riding high. You have Amaya Jennings, who's been outstanding, then Mecca Freeman stepping back into that role. They really look like they won't be able to be stopped at that point.
Set 2 on tap, here we go. Melissa Gonzalez serves left to right. Middle attack, long, no touch. Wildcats get the first point. That's the one thing that Texas Southern, I think, has really confused the Wildcats on. Yes, the Cats had 1 big block in the middle of that first set, but other than that, have not really been able to handle that pipe attack from behind the 3-meter line, but they won't need to when they just keep getting aces. Melissa Gonzalez, ace number 27 of the year. She leads the team in service aces. As just a freshman from down in Miami Gardens. That one just barely clears the tape. Great dig. Carvalho keeps it up. Jennings taps it. It's way too long, and it's 2-1.
What a defensive stop there by Carvalho. That was a rocket of a hit. She absorbs the pressure of it well, puts it back up in the air, and just a little bit overhit by Amaya Jennings.
Texas Southern serving now for the first time in set 2. Great pass. Tipped over by Williams in the middle. Free ball. Gonzalez, back set. Big swing. Oh, it hit the line. What a shot by Jennings.
Williams and Jennings were right there to pick up that set from Gonzalez. We were wondering who was going to hit it at first. Amaya Jennings comes out of nowhere and just smacks it.
A little bit of miscommunication there, but the Wildcats stay alive as that one tossed over the net, but on her front swing, Courtney Collier contacts the net, and the Wildcats maintain the momentum from set 1 and lead 4-1 here in set 2. As Amaya Jennings goes back to serve. In system tip for Texas Southern, and Amaya Jennings can't save it.
I think the Wildcats really need to focus on their communication in this set. Riding high after set 1, coming in here to set 2, they started off strong with the lead. Now, can they just limit the unforced errors and communicate at a high level for them to maintain that?
Middle, did that take a touch? Yes, it did. That one spun out of play, but off the block. Kaylee Williams, who we haven't even talked about in this game so far. She leads the conference in blocks as a freshman and is on tap to be SWAC Blocker of the Year right now. And something you will learn as you watch Bethune-Cookman volleyball throughout the years is Coach Williams recruits blockers like nobody else in this conference. I mean, we've just got out of Niara Hightower being second all-time in blocks in BCU history in just 2 years. And she's now in England playing semi-professional ball. Melissa Gonzalez, or excuse me, Kaylee Williams, has stepped right into that role, the freshman from Maryland.
She has so many accolades to her name, stepping in here as a freshman. County Player of the Year, Baltimore Sun, 2024 All-Metro Player of the Year, Howard Times Player of the Year as well. She just comes in here in such a fantastic role for this Wildcat team and really embraced it as well. She's been a leader, a voice, high energy, just like her teammates. It's been a great fit for her here at Bethune-Cookman.
Also was named SWAC Newcomer of the Year once this year already for a performance at the Bash at the Beach. 18 kills, 19 blocks over 3 matches. And it looks like we're going to have another challenge by Texas Southern to see if that swing by Williams went out off the block or not, as the down official goes back to the scorer's table.
Right now, they need anything that they can to try and get points right now. I don't blame them for challenging the play.
No. Okay, so it doesn't look like we're going to get an official challenge. The Wildcats will go back to serve, up 5-2 in set number 2, up 1-0 in the match. Kaylee Williams also has 18 service aces on the year. Not going to get one that time. Back set, far pin, block back, covered, but it's chaos over there. Joust at the net, puts the ball back on the Tigers' side. Jennings covers the tip. And then nobody was communicating there as that set goes behind Herndon and into the net to gift a point to Texas Southern on a set error by Gonzalez. Kennedy Walker chose the service line for Texas Southern, the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Lots of Houston and Houston suburb representation on this Texas Southern team. Fastball serve well played. Simmons down the line, dug out by Diaz. This will have to be hit from behind the 3-meter line, tipped at the net. Carvalho's gonna play it. Off the hands. Texas Southern goes back set. And it just squeezed through the hands of Preston, who couldn't get the block. And here comes Texas Southern, it's 5-4.
Another long rally for both of these teams. Texas Southern looked cool, calm, and collected during that point. BCU, again, needs to communicate and just execute
what a dig
well
by Carvalho. And it was a great pass, too, that lets the Wildcats take the point. I know Carvalho won't get anything but a dig on the stat sheet for that, but she deserves at least half of that point for saving that serve.
She is the definition of does her job. When you need her to show up in those defensive situations, she does, and she does it exceptionally well.
That one hit the pin off serve from Amaya Jennings. Only the second service error of the match for Bethune-Cookman. And keeps Texas Southern behind by one. Check that was Hemphill on serve. Carvalho again. Hemphill. Wingo got blocked by Morgan McQueen. That's a little bit too gung-ho from Morgan Wingo.
She just hit it right into the hands of Texas Southern there, and McQueen.
Another great dig, but a long run for Hemphill. Standing hit by Preston, free ball. Here come the Tigers. Block back covered. Carvalho pushes it behind her head to Preston. It's another easy one, middle attack, and Carvalho can't keep that one alive. And for the first time in set two, Texas Southern takes the lead, and it's their first lead since it was 15-14 in set one. Oh, miscommunication, nobody hit that. That's a clean service ace for Emery Harper. Now check that, Grace Hill is serving for the Tigers. Team leader in kills, 11th service ace of the season for Hill. That time it is well out. As Carvalho makes a good decision to leave that one, and it's 8-all. Riley Davis, who had so many great serves in set number one, has another one right there. Hemphill sets up a middle attack that's blocked. They go far side, now Jennings blocked again. Morgan McQueen has been on fire in set number two, her second block in the last 4 points.
The block duo of Ava Houston and McQueen is powerful right now. They're blocking anything that Jennings is trying to hit at them. Morgan Wingo was the other who got blocked by Texas Southern. Wildcats need to keep their head in this one if they want to stay within reaching point.
They go Jennings again, off the chest of Battle and all the way out of play. Wildcats stay within one. Here's Carvalho, the native of Uberlândia, Brazil, serving for the Cats. And another block. This one by Courtney Collier. And I think we'll force Coach Williams to take a timeout here. No, just a substitution for Texas Southern, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe taking a timeout here.
Her team just within two here, Michael. I don't know if she is seeing anything that she really needs to stop them with. They're coming back, they're still earning points, even with Texas Southern gaining momentum.
I mean, I maybe would talk about your approach to the net as there's a joust push back to the Tigers side. And a big swing that will go off the hoop, basketball hoop, that's out of play. And 11-8, Texas Southern. But yeah, I would want to talk about your approach at the net, because 3 blocks already in this set for Texas Southern means that you're being too predictable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what they're going to talk about here as well. Just their mindset, again, calming the game down. I feel like it's been such a fast-paced match so far. That first set was back and forth, and this one as well coming into set two. Texas Southern, again, getting more used to the game. They seem like they're settling in. Their game plan is executing. Now for the Wildcats, can they just do a better job of, like you mentioned, switching it up a little bit, not being too predictable at the net?
Quick individual stats check-in right now. It's 11-8 in set number 2. Wildcats being led offensively by Amaya Jennings, 7 kills on 13 swings, hitting .385. Nobody else with more than 3 kills for the Wildcats. Tiana Preston has 3 on 9 swings for a .111 percentage. Carvalho 6 digs, 9 assists for Melissa Gonzalez to lead the team, 1 ace apiece for Gonzalez and Riley Davis. On the Texas Southern Tide, they're being led in kills by Ava Houston with 5 of 6, hitting 33. Ridiculous performance by Ava Houston so far. Also, Collier, 4 kills off 10 swings, and McQueen, 3 kills off 5. Neither team playing very efficiently overall. The Wildcats hitting 156, Texas Southern 160. Both of those numbers well below their season averages coming in. Texas Southern up 11-8. Hempo will go back set. Tipped off the fingers of Houston. Covered well at the net by Collier, and Texas Southern has another swing at it, but that swing goes straight under the tape. And the Wildcats finally side out on 11-9.
It's exactly what you need after a timeout. Get that first point. Get momentum back onto your side. Wildcats do just that.
There's Melissa Gonzalez, once again just a freshman out of Miami Gardens, who has stepped into that setter role brilliantly and been a great server for this team. Behind the 3-meter line, Carvalho puts it perfectly on the hands for a big swing by Jennings.
Carvalho with reading the ball off the tip. She got it right back into system for her team, and then Amaya Jennings, a beautiful swing. Nothing that Texas Southern could do about that one.
Little collision on the back row. Slide attack, tipped and covered by Williams. Jennings again, off the hands. Diaz tried to save it, but can't do it. And it goes out the back of the court. The Cats rattle off 3 straight to tie the game at 11.
Kaylee Williams is such a funny player to watch. She makes that save as the ball got hit off the block and then just kind of steps out of the way. She doesn't want to do too much, doesn't want to get in the way, just knows that she has to do her job and then be that cover for her team.
Near pin, off hands. That's a beautiful swing for Texas Southern. Lauren Battle.
Yeah, that was an absolute powerhouse of a swing for Battle. Gets the tip off of the block from the Wildcats, takes a spin, and then drops down in the court.
Earlier this season, Lauren Battle was named to the Islander Classic All-Tournament team at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That's a bit of an awkward one, but it's even more awkward for Texas Southern. All sorts of collisions on that side. Gives an in-system swing. That's long for A.J. Simmons. Wildcats got a gift there, but couldn't cash in on it. Another great dig. That's a pancake and a beauty by Ava Ray. 2 Cats run into each other and give a free ball to Texas Southern. Off the middle, oh, great cover. And then a tip herself by AJ. Off the tape. And an injury on the court to Texas Southern libero Morelia Diaz, and we'll redo the point as Diaz is down right in front of her bench. She started that whole rally with a great diving save, but then ran in to Gracie Lee on the back line.
Gingerly walking off the court, not putting too much pressure on that left side.
So now we're gonna see Lawana Pino from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So we're gonna have the face-off of the Brazilian liberos between Pino and Stephanie Carvalho. Pino, a junior out of Sao Paulo. No stranger to this area, played at Santa Fe College in Gainesville, Florida, at the junior college level for 2 seasons before coming over to Texas Southern, was a COSIDA All-American. (13-11) Texas Southern, they're still on serve as we'll redo that last point. Jennings, standing hit. Carvalho, Gonzalez, middle attack, kaboom for Kaylee Williams.
That could not have been timed more perfectly, Michael. Kaylee Williams, the lift off, the hit, smashing it right through the central part of the court. We have a match here in the second set.
And an ace for Amaya Jennings. That's the correct move. Target the new player off the bench who wasn't expecting to be there.
Absolutely, for Coach Williams, that was a great call, and Amaya Jennings going to be the one to execute. We got a tie match here.
13-all, they target Pino again. This time she keeps it in play, but it's blocked by Williams. But she's in the net.
That's just good volleyball from Texas Southern. You know you're going to have to battle with them. They're not going to give you anything easy. That one of them.
Pushed far side. Preston in a one-on-one. And she got the big swing. That couldn't be dug out on that far side. And the Wildcats tie it again at 14. It was this kind of area where the Wildcats made their move in set one. Will they do so again with Kaylee Williams on serve? That serve a little awkward, came off her wrist instead of her palm. Somehow the Wildcats keep that alive for a second, but doesn't do enough to get it over. And the Tigers side right back out. Kaylee Williams comes out. Kennedy Walker to serve for Texas Southern. A little bit ahead of that was Jennings. She had to back off and just tip it across. And then an in-system swing. Gets the point for Texas Southern, Emery Harper. I'm 16-14, Wildcats trying to stay in it. That hit is not going to help them, though, as that's way out of court by A.J. Simmons. Her last two swings have both been long. And Texas Southern now takes the lead in the late teens at 17-14. Preston pushes it down that far side. Free ball for the Cats. Here they come. They go back to A.J. Simmons. Oh, my goodness. It's the rare dig kill for the defensive specialist. Timeout, BCU. That's one of those where you think you have it for A.J. Simmons, and it just cannons right back to your side of the floor. Simmons unlucky 0 for her last 3 swings. And hitting negative in the match. 3 errors, 2 kills on 11 swings for A.J. Simmons. Normally so consistent, hitting just under 200 on the year. Wildcats call their second and final timeout of set number 2. Homecoming is right around the corner. You won't want to miss a moment. Get your tickets today as Bethune-Cookman hosts Arkansas Pine Bluff Saturday, October 25. At Daytona Stadium. Get your tickets today at bcuathletics.com/tickets. All the action will be live on SWAC TV or listen at 1380 WELE Daytona Beach, youtube.com/CatEye Network or bcuathletics.com/radio. If you can't be at the stadium, but you should be at the stadium, see a Wildcats football team that is on fire right now. 4 of their last 5 games scoring over 40 points, tied for second in the conference. There's reason to be excited about BCU football for the first time in a while, Jade.
Hey, Michael, if you're not doing anything on next Saturday, you need to be at Daytona Stadium to watch this BCU football team. They're on fire right now, and so is a lot of BCU athletics.
Preston into the block, kept alive, free ball. A chance to go up big. Jennings dives to keep it alive. Preston behind her head. Tip back covered. Off the tape. Simmons quick to it. Back to Preston for the 3rd time, and she gets blocked by Lee.
Carvalho was there for the cover, just tipped off of her hands there. She wasn't ready for that. And Coach Williams right now is unhappy with her team's performance.
This is the exact opposite of what happened in set 1. Big late teens run for the Cats, and then a big late teens run for Texas Southern. They're up 5, 19-14. It's a long way back for BCU in this second set now. Preston off the, hit the pin. 20-14.
And right now, it's not even that Texas Southern is doing anything too crazy. They're just executing good volleyball and playing to their game plan. Right now, Bethune-Cookman is shooting themselves in the foot with this one.
Simmons couldn't get it down. Carvalho back to AJ, and off the block and out. The Wildcats finally break a 6-0 run for Texas Southern.
They needed that point, and they needed it big.
Down 5 now, 20-15, still a long way back. As Texas Southern has taken a massive lead in hitting percentage in this game, 210 to 111, and that's a wild serve by Jennings. 21-15. Grace Hill on serve. Back row middle attack off the tape and in from Jennings. (21-16). Shayla Henry came in for a minute, now she goes back out. Henry, the third outside hitter on the depth chart right now behind Simmons and Jennings. Battle, big swing, big kill to put Texas Southern on 22.
The angle with which she hit that ball was directly down on the court. There was nothing really BCU could do about that one at all.
Here's the first serve for Luana Pino, who is in place of the injured Morelia Diaz at libero. It's a good one, but the pass is even better. It ends up on the Wildcats side of the court, and it deflects all the way back and almost goes through the hoop. It's still in play, it's blocked. Diving cover by Davis. To battle off the tape, and somehow Texas Southern wins a crazy point. Now, I was under the assumption that the basketball hoops were out of play, and that I think that's what Coach Williams is trying to talk to the up official about. And she's not gonna get anywhere with that. Morgan Wingo comes in and keeps this set alive at 23-17.
Can the Wildcats get control of the set right here in this moment? We had some chaotic points, and this set and the first one as well.
Tip middle, pancake by Carvalho. Right at the net, that one's gonna go out off the block. And another kill for Amaya Jennings.
The little leadership things that Carvalho is doing on the court right now are so impressive. As that ball was coming down, she literally pushed her teammates out of the way. Don't touch it, I know what's going on. Let's keep going and rolling and get these points.
Block back covered by Williams. Battle has been the big swinger late in this set, but fought off by the Cats. The dig by Walker. The swing, Carvalho puts it up. Hempel pushed it across. Off the elbow. Dump to the middle, Hempel's right there. Carvalho sets up Jennings. Pino with the dig, back middle, out of play. Wildcat point. The Cats stay alive, 23-19. Timeout, Texas Southern. Wild rallies at the back end of this set. But the Wildcats have really shot themselves in the foot in this set, hitting just 153, up to 12 attack errors in the match, and that's what allowed Texas Southern to get this big lead, is that they rattled off 6 straight points, 3 of those for BCU hitting errors.
Yeah, and they dug themselves a hole, but they're crawling their way out of it. You can see the energy building with every point, with every block, every dig. The defensive side of the game for the Wildcats has picked up later on in this second set. They're doing a great job of converting and executing. You can see the level rise for Texas Southern now. Can they close out this set? They know that BCU is very powerful when they get the momentum. Can they close it out and be done with the second set and move on to the third?
Is this late run for the Wildcats too little too late? We'll find out as Texas Southern takes their first timeout. They still have 1 left if this Wildcat run continues. They have 3 straight points. Elsewhere in the SWAC, Alabama A&M and Alabama State is just underway in Montgomery. We'll keep you updated with all things going on at Lockhart Gymnasium on the campus of Alabama State throughout the evening. Carvalho continues to serve this 3-0 run for the Wildcats, trying to keep this set alive. In system, long, no touch. Wildcat point, they're down 3. 4 in a row for BCU.
This is the most pivotal point of the set right here.
Carvalho takes a step back. Finds Pino with the serve, middle attack. That's been there for Texas Southern all day. And they move to set point. Serving for the set will be setter Ava Ray, the junior out of Leesburg, Virginia. Had 35 service aces in her first 2 college seasons at Texas Southern. Carvalho to Hemphill, back set, Wingo tips it over. What a dig by Pino. Battle to finish it off. Off the hands, and Texas Southern ties the match at 1.
Hard-fought second set for either side. BCU with a lot of errors, hurting themselves in this one. Texas Southern getting back into this match by just playing their style of volleyball. They looked very calm and composed, and really Pino stepping into that libero role was helping them as well, recovering and just making those defensive stops.
In this second set, really looking at the stats, especially hitting percentage, it should not have been as close as it was. The Wildcats came on late, but they hit .95 in the second set to Texas Southern's 265. 8 attack errors to 4 for Bethune-Cookman. 13 kills to 12 for Texas Southern. So like the first set, the kill number is very even, but it's the errors that decided that set.
Yeah, there was really no blocks for BCU in that one as well. Texas Southern had 6, BCU only had 2 in that second set. So the defensive side for BCU, they need to get back to their identity there in this third one.
Of course, Wildcats 2 service errors to Texas Southern's 1. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, it's set number 3 here for more Gymnasium. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Volleyball on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Back at Moore Gymnasium, it's SWAC Volleyball on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV in a pivotal matchup for SWAC standings as we're about the halfway point of the SWAC conference season. Texas Southern 6-1, Bethune-Cookman 5-2 with a win. The Wildcats would temporarily go second in the standings with a chance to go first with a victory over Prairie View on Sunday. But again, let's not talk about that too early. The match is still just 1-1. Michael Turillo and Jade Barquette talking you through it on the CatEye Radio Network this evening. Jade, the Wildcats really only have themselves to blame for that second set. Poor hitting percentage, a lot of errors. If they clean that up, they were right in that set.
Absolutely. Texas Southern just looked like they were very comfortable in that first one. VCU made them so uncomfortable. You could tell in the way they were playing. It was rushed. It was chaotic. There were spells of long rallies for either side, so that was good to see both teams really competing in this third set. It's going to be who can be as clean as possible and stick to their game plan.
Wildcats in the pink. It is Dig Pink night here at the gym. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Texas Southern in the black with maroon shoulders, silver numbers, silver Texas Southern on the front, Tigers on the back on the nameplate. Set to go in a pivotal set number 3. Who will move to match point here in this match? And what makes this weekend all the tougher for the Wildcats, Jade, is usually you'll get a team in that's already played a match on Sunday. But Prairie View A&M is going to be a fresh team. They're not playing tonight. They're playing here on Sunday and then Monday night against Florida A&M. So a quick back-to-back with a 5-hour drive in between.
That's definitely an interesting factor that could go into that game or that match on Sunday with Prairie View not playing.
A.J. Simmons gets the first point of set number 3. I think that was a smart choice. Go back to her. She had a rough end to set number 2 with those 3 errors in that long Texas Southern run. Try and get her confidence up. You're going to need A.J. Simmons if you're going to win this match. First middle attack, and that one goes down on the wrong side, according to Kaylee Williams, and it's 1-1. She was in position, but you got to push those hands over the net and not go straight up to direct that ball down.
This set starting similarly to how we started in set 1.
Lauren Battle sets up an awkward one around the far pin. The Wildcats do get it over. Middle attack for the Wildcats. Pino digs it out. Tipped over by the setter. Back set, and a great swing for A.J. Simmons. She got 2 straight points to start this set for the Cats.
Battle, just a miss-hit there, trying to deflect it back into her team. The ball kind of at an awkward angle. It didn't really move her body to get behind it. Wildcats with the point.
A.J. Simmons now in her senior year, entire college career here at Bethune-Cookman. A rarity in the modern day and age of the transfer portal, even in volleyball. Ace! Kaylee Williams, wrong foot's Battle, and it's 3-1.
Second time in a row, Battle just with the miss hit.
First ace of the night for Williams, and then she follows it up with her first error, which equalizes it and makes it 3-2. Kaylee Williams is really the only one on the Wildcats team that goes for that big overhand jump serve that is not as safe as most of this Wildcats team.
But it's so efficient.
Off the hands and off the head of Taryn Stafford as she just looks like, where did that go?
She put it right on her own head. That one ricocheted off her hands, dropped off in her head. Glad it wasn't a hard-hitting ball. Just a little soft touch on the top of her head.
Yeah, well, everything is in play in this game of volleyball. You can kick it over the net if you need to. I've seen plenty of fantastic saves with feet and knees. A little bit of miscommunication on that middle attack gives a chance for Jennings to swing at it and put that rebound over the scorer's table for a 5-2 Cats lead.
Riley Davis and the entire Wildcats bench fired up after that hit from Amaya Jennings. You can just see how the Wildcats have come out in this third set hungry to close this one out.
One of the things I love about Amaya Jennings is she's so versatile. Wingo didn't clip the line, and it's a Texas Southern point, but back on Jennings, right? She'll hit outside, she'll hit right side, she'll hit back row from the middle. She just swings at anything.
That's why she is a weapon for this Wildcat team. She can hit you from any point on the court.
Jennings missed a good chunk of last season through injury after starting the year really strong. Of course, if you recognize that last name, yes, that is the daughter of Greg Jennings, former Super Bowl champion with the Packers. Tiana Preston says, how about me? Why don't you talk about me? I lead the team in kills. So let's talk about Ty Preston, the senior out of Jonesboro, Georgia. First 2 college seasons at Enterprise State. 7th in junior college nationally in kills per set while at Enterprise State. That's a good slide attack, and Morgan McQueen.
Yeah, that was beautiful by Texas Southern. Well executed, got the power on the hit and the tip from the block for the Tiger point.
Last year at BCU for Preston, only 57 kills, but of course had to sit behind SWAC Newcomer of the Year, Robinson.
Right now, again, for the Wildcats, is those unforced errors. Taking control of this set is going to be what they need exactly in this moment. They've had the lead the entire time. Can they keep that?
Bit of an overpass. What a set! Wow! Yes, Sierra Herndon had the final swing, but Nola Hempel saved that from going over the net with a beautiful reach-back set.
That was beautiful by Hemphill for her to just get her hands underneath that.
Overpass. Oh, saved. How in the world did Texas Southern keep that alive? And then they get the point 2 off the block by Morgan McQueen. It just looks so easy for Morgan McQueen, the 6'2" middle blocker out of Fort Worth, Texas.
This match has been so back and forth, but also very chaotic. Both teams making some tremendous plays defensively and then working with that to score points.
And it's been very sloppy from the service line for both teams.
Yeah.
Now 5th service error on the game for Texas Southern, the Wildcats with 4. But it is not very often the Wildcats get dominated at the net like this. It's 8-2 in total blocks. Now almost another one, but a cover. Simmons can't get it past Pino. Off high hands, Carvalho sets it up. Gonzalez dumps it. Diving dig by Walker, but the Wildcats will get the point.
That was a good read by Gonzalez as well. She knows that the blocks have been working for Texas Southern. Can she just dump this one over, catch him off guard a little bit? She does.
And now she goes back to serve. Battle gets it back after first contact. Dug out by Davis. Jennings, big swing, big kill. And there she is, again, popping up everywhere on the right side. Timeout, Texas Southern as the Wildcats lead 10-6. And what did I mention coming into the set? They need to play more efficiently. Well, the Wildcats are definitely doing that, hitting 267 with only 3 errors in this first part of this second set. Timeout, Texas Southern. Bethune-Cookman Volleyball returns to Moore Gymnasium this Sunday as SWAC play rolls on as the action continues as the Wildcats host Prairie View A&M. That match is October 19th at noon. Admission is always free. Can't make it to the game. Wear your best pink as we support breast cancer awareness all month long. The action will be live free on youtube.com/CatEye Network or at bcuathletics.com/radio. Jade, you said it on the podcast this week. Go to the early church service.
Yes.
Get out here.
Yes.
Support the Wildcats on Sunday.
And I meant it. And I really did. This is an incredible environment in Moore Gymnasium. The fans are having fun. The teams are exciting. The volleyball is electric. Why not come out after church, bring your brunch. We'll have some too. And we'll all eat, watch some volleyball, and cheer on the Wildcats.
Wildcats now up 10-6 in a pivotal third set with the match tied at 1. Texas Southern goes back to the middle. When in doubt, go back to the middle for Texas Southern. Courtney Collier picks up the kill. Collier in an interview after the ridiculous game against Jackson State where Texas Southern won 3-2 on the road. You talk about playing calm.
They haven't done that much in this match so far, and that's the first time that Texas Southern has scored a point off of the timeout.
Wildcats go back to A.J. Simmons, and she continues her rough night by sending that well long. Simmons is falling into the kind of rut that Jasmine Robinson fell into a lot last year, which is just trying to, as that's a service error by Ava Ray, will give the ball back to the Wildcats. But back on Simmons, right, you saw Robinson last year just trying to kill the ball every time we sent her way. And sometimes you just need to be a little bit more efficient, take something off it, try and place it in a corner, go around the block instead of just trying to hit it hard. Wildcats haven't done great defending slides, but that wasn't a particularly good one. Tiana Preston can't get much on that. Battle off the hands, punched over and down! Ty Preston with the most unlikely kill of her volleyball career.
But that is the mentality that Coach Williams is needing from her team. Do anything that you can to put the ball over the net and score a point. Preston does that seamlessly and in a not so normal way.
I'm not even sure she meant to do that. I just think she just tried to get any piece of contact she could on it, as that's poor contact from Carvalho.
But the reaction from Preston after that was impeccable. She went to her knees, was so excited, her teammates surrounding her. That is the kind of excitement that we're seeing from this Wildcat team in every single little point.
Lauren Battle serving. Tight to the net off first contact. Preston rises high and down hard in front of Pino.
What did we say earlier? When in doubt, go to Preston. She knows what to do. She is battle tested. She is such a high volleyball IQ. She placed that one perfectly. And VCU, once again, in control right now of this set.
That's a great pass from Pino.
There's that block.
Did that take a touch? Yes, it did on the way through. Coach Williams talking to her players saying, hey, did you touch it? Are we going to challenge this? And the Wildcats won't challenge it.
Yeah, they saw that they put it in. They had a touch on it and kept it in.
Texas Southern staying in touching distance at 13-10. But doing that's not going to help.
No, again, and it's those errors on serves for Texas Southern that has been hurting them. Every time they will get the ball back at a point, they have an error on the serve.
Third service error of this set already. 7th one of the match for Texas Southern. And there's an ace. Error to ace back to back.
Little miscommunication there between Battle and Pino on who was going to dig that ball.
Back set. Great dig by Jennings. Preston claimed by Battle on the back row. It'll go back to Battle beyond the 3-meter line. And that's the kind of shots that I think A.J. Simmons should try and do. Just took a little bit off of it. The defense was expecting a heavy hit and left the middle open.
That's what's been working so well for Texas Southern right now in this match. Can they capitalize on that more? Getting Bethune-Cookman just a little bit rattled late in the third.
Kennedy Walker, the former Georgia High School state champion, back to serve for Texas Southern. Wildcats lead 15-11 here in set 3 and have just been keeping Texas Southern at arm's reach. That's a tough set for Hempel. It's a little low, but Texas Southern gets that all kinds of wrong, and the point goes to Bethune-Cookman.
All smiles right now from Coach Williams for the Wildcats, knowing that her team is doing the right things with the lead here in set 3, making Texas Southern a little bit uncomfortable like they did in the first.
Coach Austin calls time out as the Wildcats lead 16-11. Wildcats on a 6-4 run since it was 10-8 and have dominated the middle part of this third set. Follow the Cats like never before and listen to every CatEye Network broadcast live for free. Just head to bcuathletics.com/radio on your computer or mobile device to hear the hometown radio call of every Wildcat home game and select road games for free. Don't miss a second of the action. That's bcuathletics.com/radio. Shout out to all of our radio listeners tonight.
Whoop, whoop, radio.
Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at bcuathletics.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. 16-11. Since it was 8-6, the Wildcats have outscored Texas Southern 9-5 in this third set. And a fair amount of it on Texas Southern errors. Herndon got that block, and that hit went outside the pin, and another error for Texas Southern. We talked about the second set. Texas Southern was so efficient. Low errors, almost a 300 hitting percentage. This set, not so much.
Wildcats have just come out in this third set and dominated. They've taken over. Yes, they've had some errors and some unfortunate moments, but they've done so well to maintain that.
That'll be a double contact after the Wildcats fail to read that slide.
That's one of those errors I'm talking about. They have made them, they've committed them, but they've cleaned it up very well and maintained the lead, which makes Texas Southern so uncomfortable. Having to come from behind is not really in their bread and butter.
Jennings down the line and punishes Kennedy Walker as she was looking like a deer in the headlights. Stephanie Carvalho, the graduate student out of Brazil, serving. Carvalho can't get that one, as Walker makes up for her poor reception by getting a big swing that time.
You can see Carvalho saying, my bad, to her entire team. She was in the right spot. She got a hand to it, just didn't get her other hand around it.
Hempel keeps it on this near pin. Somehow kept alive by Williams, but it's a free ball. Tight to the net, and an overpass is put down by the Wildcats. Kaylee Williams says
that she has when she does these tips. Obviously, when she's swinging the ball, it's very powerful, but when she has those little tips right at the net, she does so well at converting them to points.
Melissa Gonzalez, again, a really nice serve. And Williams was just caught on the way down there. Couldn't direct that ball back across. New face on the floor for Texas Southern. This is Keldry Young wearing number 12. Florida native out of Tallahassee. On Sunday, she'll go play in her hometown. I'm sure they'll have a lot of family in the crowd. I'm not even sure what to say about that. Melissa Gonzalez, I'm not even sure that was an intentional one. I just think she had a bad set that went over the net, and nobody on Texas Southern was paying attention.
The thing is, it doesn't matter how it goes over, what it looks like, as long as it's a point for your team. That is what matters.
Coach Williams on the sideline going, what are you doing? Doesn't matter. It's the 20th point of the set for Bethune-Cookman. They're up big, 20-14. Carvalho's going to have to put this over. Big middle attack, goes long out the back of the court. The Wildcats up 21-14.
That hit from the middle has been working so well for Texas Southern all match here. That was one of the rare times that it went long.
Short float serve by Jennings. That's a good swing by Lauren Battle. Surprised why they haven't gone back to Battle more in this third set. She's up to 10 kills for the match on a .421 hitting percentage.
I don't think they've really been in system for her to be able to get the ball, Michaels. They have been so caught out of it and just kind of been chaotic because the Wildcats are doing so well.
Wildcats in system, and Preston squeezes it past Collier to put the Wildcats on 22. Kaylee Williams on serve. Let's see where she goes with it. To Battle, and Battle can't control it. That's a beautiful serve.
The serves has not been able to control the ball whatsoever. She made a lot of errors tonight on that side.
Texas Southern brings in an extra defensive specialist, number 1, Keegan St. Junius, just to try and help that serve receive a little bit. They go quick middle in system and get a point. Wildcats still in control, 23-16. 2 more side outs and they'll get their second set of the match and go up 2-1. Jennings decides to play that late. Simmons can't do much with it, but the Wildcats will get another chance. Gonzalez drops it over. Carvalho sets up Preston. St. Junius decides to play it, has to get back to it and can't do it. It looked to me like that one was gonna go long, and the freshman from Manville, Texas decided to keep it alive.
I think her teammates were also calling for that out as well and decided to play at the last second. Then confusion in the middle of the court for Texas Southern allows the ball to drop for the Wildcats, and now we have set point.
And that's to your point, right? The Texas Southern has not looked comfortable in this third set. Set point for the Cats. And they'll have to wait a little longer as McQueen swipes it home. Morgan McQueen, the team leader in hitting percentage at .303, one of the tops of the conference in terms of percentage. McQueen, a sophomore, only played in 14 matches her freshman year, but hit .314 and 36 kills. Wildcats trying to close this set out. Not a great set for Preston, and she can't get it over.
Yeah, just unfortunate with behind Preston there on the set. Didn't get the power or the look she wanted for her swing.
Morgan McQueen from a volleyball family. Her sister played D1 volleyball at Northwestern State in Louisiana. As McQueen gets another kill, and it's 24-19 as Coach Williams just wants to calm the nerves a little bit.
Yeah, the momentum was shifting right over to Texas Southern. They had put points on the board. That was 3 in a row for them there, needing her team just to calm down a little bit, recollect, only knowing they need one more point to close out the set.
Wildcats have 2 in double figures tonight. Amaya Jennings with 15 kills, only 3 errors with a .400 hitting percentage. Ty Preston, 10 kills on 3 errors on 23 swings with a .304 hitting percentage. Outside of that, it's been slim pickings. Amaya Jennings has 7 kills but 4 errors with a .143 hitting percentage. On the other side for Texas Southern, they're led by Battle, 10 of 20 with 1 error. That's a .450 percentage. Houston has 7 kills, McQueen has 6, Collier also has 7, so a balanced attack from Texas Southern. Whereas the Wildcats putting all their eggs in the Jennings-Preston basket. That's the second time I've used that metaphor tonight. I can't keep going back to it. I gotta mix it up.
Always about chicken and eggs. Are you hungry?
I haven't had dinner yet, so that very well might be. Wildcats still on set point. Up 24-19. 3 straight points and 4 of the last 5 for Texas Southern has made this one a little interesting. off the rafters. That's our first rafter ball of the night, and it goes against Bethune-Cookman, and it's 24, 20.
The rafters have been everybody's friend really tonight until that moment.
Again, the low ceiling here at Moore Gym. The rafters are in play. This time the Wildcats in system. Did it catch a touch? Yes, it did. And the Wildcats will take set number 3 and take a 2-1 advantage in the match. Little hairy at the end, but they got over the line.
Yeah, Texas Southern threatening there to come back. They do crawl back 25-20, but the Wildcats only needed one more point in that third set to close it out. They got it and are looking to really slam the door on Texas Southern here in the fourth set.
Well, that set kind of reminded me of set 2, but in reverse, right?
Yep.
The Wildcats weren't playing well, but kind of hung around late, had a little run to make Texas Southern think about it, but unfortunately for the Wildcats in set 2, it was a little bit too little too late.
Yeah.
Texas Southern was all sorts of out of system in that third set, made a run 4 out of 5 late, but it was just a little bit too little too late for them, and the Wildcats go up 2-1.
Yeah, coming into this fourth set is so important that the Wildcats close out this match. They cannot allow Texas Southern to get comfortable like they did in set number 2, where they just kept putting point after point after point, and the Wildcats were shooting themselves in the foot with those errors they were committing. It needs to be a clean fourth set for the Wildcats so that they can put this match away, giving them so much confidence going into Sunday's match.
In that third set, the Wildcats win 25-20, 16 kills to 13. The Wildcats hit 387 in that set. Again, the Wildcats getting outblocked tonight a lot. They didn't have a block in that set 2-0, but 3 service errors and 2 attack errors for Texas Southern did the Tigers in that one, as the Wildcats take a 2-1 lead. Overall statistics, Texas Southern still out-hitting the Wildcats 260 to 219. Both teams have 39 kills. The Wildcats have 3 more errors, 16 to 13. The Wildcats have 2 more assists, 37 to 35, and winning the Aces battle 6 to 2. And Texas Southern has more service errors, 7 to 4. 4 of those service errors in that last set.
It adds to their total number.
Texas Southern's dominating at the net, 8 blocks to 2. That's not really what we're used to here at Moore Gym, but the Wildcats still up 2-1. Texas Southern has the overall lead in the match and digs 37 to 35. Jade, what do you think needs to happen for BCU if they want to close out this third set, or close this out 3-1 and not have to go to a fifth set?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they just need to clean up the unforced errors. When they have the ball in system, they just need to execute and secure those points. I'd like to see a little bit more from the blocking side of things for BCU. They've done a really good job at it when it has come for them, and then not being so predictable at the net. When they are hitting into the block, can they find a way to tip it off the fingers of the block and have it drop, or hit it around and try to make Texas Southern make some errors?
Here we go, fourth set on tap. Wildcats up 2-1, looking to close out Texas Southern and hand the Tigers only their second loss in conference this season. And of course, remember, a win tonight would set up a match on Sunday against the undefeated Prairie View A&M Panthers, where the Wildcats could take sole possession of second place. Checking in on what's going on in Alabama. Alabama A&M won the first set 25-20, but Alabama State leads early in set number 2. The Wildcats, if they want this to be a perfect weekend, do need Alabama State to win that match, because they have the win over Bama State but lost to Bama A&M 2 weeks ago. It'll be a slide attack for the first point of the set. Courtney Collier slaps that one off Williams' hands, and it's 1-0. Wildcats have started each of these sets well, haven't let Texas Southern really run away early. A.J. Simmons goes with the tip shot. What did we say about A.J. Simmons? Gotta change it up.
Yeah. Texas Southern team.
More like she heard her coach, because I'm sure that's what Coach Williams was saying to her in between sets. That'll be a service ace as Pino can't save that one. It goes under the net. Another ace for the Wildcats, their 7th of the match. Zamaya Jennings back on the service line. Pino just pops it straight up in the air, and that one goes off the tape, and it'll be a block for Simmons and a point for BCU. So for the second straight set, the Wildcats drop the first point but lead 3-1 after 4.
That is that blocking mentality, the intensity that we love to see from the Wildcats at the net.
Not a great first contact. That'll set up a in-system play for the Wildcats. Ty Preston, big swing off the fingertips.
Beautifully executed from that first pass from Carvalho, who set up the beautiful swing by Preston. The Wildcats couldn't ask for anything better in that moment for that hit.
An aggressive timeout by Texas Southern coach Alexis Austin, as she says, I want to talk this over at 4-1. Got to get the mentality right now because their backs are against the wall down 2-1.
Yeah, well, they know once BCU gets the momentum, they're not going to look back. It's not going to stop for them. They've had that issue this entire match so far. Stopping it right now allows their team to get together, regroup, talk about what they need to do, because this is the winner go home set.
Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman. Let me try that again. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. It's been a long week, featuring all new items in the store. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop.
It has been a really long week.
It has. And it's weird because you think no football, it's going to be a little bit easier. And I suppose it is easier than having a triple header weekend like we had a couple weeks ago, but still with multiple volleyball games to prepare for and track and field cross-country championships coming up next weekend. It's still been a hectic week here at BCU Athletics, even without football to worry about. 4-1 Wildcats. Carvalho cleans up that middle attack. Squeezed through the block by Simmons, but covered by Texas Southern. Off the hands, and Texas Southern keeps it alive. And a big swing makes it 4-2. Grace Hill, the team leader in kills for Texas Southern, who's been a little bit quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Gets that one, only her 5th kill on 20 swings.
She stuns the entire defensive side for BCU, gets that one right through everyone.
Jennings down to put this one perfectly in system for Preston. That one goes up in the rafters and hits the pin, so it's going to be a BCU point.
It's that awkward silence when the ball's up in the air and it hits the top and it comes down. Everyone's like, where's it going to be?
You never know.
You never do.
I love to say, the roof taketh and the roof giveth. So the roof giveth and the roof taketh away. Williams back to serve. Tight to the net on the pass, and Texas Southern can't get it over. That'll be 4 contacts. Haley Williams had a great night from the service line. 2 aces, 1 error. Dump, fought off in the middle by Herndon. Battle from behind the 3-meter line. Long run for Gonzalez to set up Preston off high hands. That goes off the rafters and outside the pin again.
Rafters have been the Wildcats' friend in this set. And Texas Southern really having an issue of getting into any sort of system right now.
And sometimes you can have it to where if you swing at it, it goes off the defender for a dig and then hits the rafters and falls back on your side. You have to play the ball. That's a great swing by Texas Southern to side out there with McQueen. So no matter where the ball is, if it goes up into those rafters, you got to pay attention. I remember last year on one of our off weeks here, I went up to Gainesville to watch a Gators volleyball match. And in one of the plays, the ball hit the scoreboard. That's a great shot by Preston. Just tips it off the hands and out. And it's 8-3 Cats. But to finish my story, the guy sitting next to me was like, whoa, I've never seen that before. And I turned to him and said, listen, in the gym that I work in for volleyball, our ceiling is about the same height as that scoreboard, so I see it all the time.
It's casual Friday for us.
That just goes to show you how much of a home advantage it is.
Yep.
That's a long run for Ray on the setup. And not great communication for the Wildcats as they dive and can't save it. But yeah, it's a big home court advantage for us because nowhere else have I seen a ceiling this low for D1 college volleyball, even in the SWAC. So teams that come in are not used to it, whereas the Wildcats, oh, Carvalho completely missed that one. She says, I'm sorry, that's my fault. But it gives the Wildcats a massive home court advantage because they practice in here every day.
I've also never seen a place where the hoops count as in, and I know you said earlier that you thought that that meant they were out if the ball hit it. But
I've definitely seen it called out when it touches the basketball hoops before. Tiana Preston continues her dominance of the match up to 15 kills on a .407 percentage.
She's on fire right now for the Wildcats.
Both Jennings and Preston hitting over 400 right now. And Williams, although she only has 7 total attacks. 9-5 Cats here in set number 4. Carvalho makes up for that mistake earlier with a nice dig and then down the line and off the block for Jennings. Former All-State and 3-time All-Conference selection at Hopkins High School in Edina, Minnesota, Amaya Jennings. Bet she likes the weather down here a little bit more than back home.
Oh, yeah.
Little unlucky for the Wildcats as that went off the fingertips of Morgan Wingo at the net and out the back. Texas Southern, after going down 4-1 and 6-2, have battled it back to 10-6.
Trying to dig themselves out of the hole that they've built so far. BCU holding strong right now, gaining points little by little.
Hempel back set, Wingo throws it to the back line. Tip shot, pancaked by Carvalho.
Wow.
And then a pinball machine on the Texas Southern side means a free ball for the Cats. They don't do much with it, though, but a little bit is all that Amaya Jennings needs to put away the point.
That was as chaotic as it comes. I thought the ball had hit the ground. Carvalho says nope, pancakes it. The Wildcats end up getting the point as the rally goes on.
And now Carvalho has to slow her heart rate down, go back to serve. And that first pass was too tight to the net. Collier couldn't save it, and it's 12-6 Cats, and already the second timeout being shotgunned by Austin as she cannot let this set get away from her Tigers.
This Tiger team just looks so out of sorts right now. They look uncomfortable. They don't look like they're communicating with one another well in between them on the court. Wildcats taking full advantage of every single part of that.
Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU Volleyball, follow at BCU Volleyball on X and Instagram. Jade is our new social media director here at BCU. You have a very large hand in what goes on with those accounts, but we also like to work with our students here to make content like we've been doing this week.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be able to do anything without the students that we have working for us, wanting to learn and grow more. So it's really shout out to the students. I'm just here to facilitate ideas and get things executed and posted.
We're also on TikTok now for the first
Yes, we
time.
are. Follow us, BCU Athletics on TikTok. We are trying to grow that platform. It's the fastest growing platform, and we're trying any new and creative ideas, trends to get our athletes' faces out there. I'm really excited about it. I'm pumped about it. We're doing more than just TikTok dances, people. It's funny, okay?
Listen, I'm glad that someone like yourself is here to handle all that because Listen, I also had a birthday this week. I'm officially old.
Did you really? What day was it?
Well, it was last week. It was the 9th.
Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
I am officially too old for TikTok. So
You're too old for TikTok. No one's ever too old. My dad's on TikTok.
Wildcats up 12-6. Targeting Battle again on serve. Battle says, target this. And aggressively swings from the back line on a pipe attack.
Great response also coming out of that timeout.
We've seen the Tigers struggle out of timeouts, even ones they've called in this match.
That was only the second time that they've scored first off of a timeout in this game.
Ava Ray, the leading setter for this team, a left-handed serve. Hemphill placed it perfectly for Williams, but she met the brick wall that was Courtney Collier. Collier's had a great night. 8 kills, and now 4 total blocks.
Yeah, Kaylee Williams just got stuffed there by Collier at the net, one-on-one.
Riley Davis with the pass. They go back to Jennings. That one goes up in the rafters, didn't hit anything. Tip to the middle, and nobody was covering it. That's the first kill of the match for Keldry Young, the junior out of Tallahassee.
VCU cannot get comfortable right now at all. Yes, they have the lead, and they still do, but they cannot rest on any sort of laurels that they were before. This Texas Southern team is strong, and they can come back easily in this 4th set.
3-0 run out of the timeout for Texas Southern.
What a hit. Nice
dig in the back line by Young. That's out of play, and it touched off the block. It's a 4-0 run, 12-10 timeout Bethune-Cookman.
Coach Williams needed to take a timeout there. You can see Texas Southern energy getting higher. They're clapping within one another, excited for what they're doing, but VCU needing to refocus right now. This match is not over at all.
Come be a part of VCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to Wildcat Athletic Communications at vcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. That's vcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. And your business could be on air with the Wildcats. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture here at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at vcuathletics.com/championsclub. That's vcuathletics.com/championsclub. 4 straight points at a Texas Southern timeout causes VCU to take a timeout. They're still up, 12-10 in this 4th set, up 2-1 in the match, but the Wildcats really need a side out here, as Ava Ray has been doing well on serve. Carvalho to Hemphill, back set, Wingo, got it off the tape, wrong-footed Lee on the other side of the net.
It's exactly what VCU needed coming out of that timeout. Wingo with the powerful hit. Yeah, it's a hit off the top of the net, but it ricochets off of a Tiger going out for a Wildcat point.
And now Melissa Gonzalez, who is exactly who you want to see at the service line, is back there for the maroon and gold. Again, she targets Battle. Middle attack fought off by Davis. Back to the Minnesota native Jennings. Can't get that one to stick, but neither can Texas Southern, as that shot goes well into the VCU bench. And the Wildcats retake a 14-10 lead. Wildcats being outblocked 9-3, but still with the advantage here late in this match. Really tight to the net, a great set by Ray, but powering that one way too far was Battle. That almost hit the back wall on the fly.
And that could also be due to a little bit of frustration right now for the Tigers. They're usually in control of these matches, and they aren't right now.
Tigers 6-1 as the Wildcats were in the net on that swing.
Great dig by Riley Davis, though, to be in that right position and just lift it right up for her team.
The Tigers 6-1, their only loss, a 3-1 defeat on their home floor to Prairie View A&M, who the Wildcats will see on Sunday at noon here at Moore Gym. Middle attack, kaboom! Amaya Jennings is powering Bethune-Cookman toward a win. 18 kills on the night. Tiana Preston with 15, Simmons with 8. The week of Amaya Jennings is turning into the month of Amaya Jennings here for VCU Volleyball.
Wow.
What a dig by Carvalho. One hand directed back in court. Preston got blocked, though.
I mean, it's been fantastic work to watch Carvalho play defense. You can see how hard she is on herself, and she knows she wants to make all of those plays, but she's been fantastic all over the court tonight for this Wildcat team.
16-12, Texas Southern back serving. Simmons on the back set. Texas Southern recovers but plays a free ball back to the Cats. Carvalho standing jump for AJ. Again, can't get that one down. The middle attack goes off of Preston's chest and out, and it's 16-13 as here come the Tigers.
Everything is being played so tight to the net right now for both sides in these last few points.
Courtney Collier is serving, the Booker T. Washington High School graduate. No, that's not the Booker T. Washington High School in Miami. A dig goes straight back over the net, put down by Preston but covered. Preston again taps it over far sideline. Texas Southern gets a chance for the near pin swing. Carvalho digs it out. Long run to put it on the fingertips of Preston, who can't do much with it. Texas Southern with another chance. Blocked. Tip once, twice. Back to the Wildcat side of the net. Simmons with a chance on the right pin. She gets it through the block and down.
Wildcats needed that point. Another great rally from both sides. Wildcats getting the better of that one. But a powerful swing by AJ Simmons puts her team up one more point. 4 now for the lead.
That's up there with rally of the match for me. Another great serve forces Ava Ray well off her line, and a dig by Preston. Saved at the net. Preston taps it over. And a big swing back in court by Gracie Lee.
Great swing by Gracie Lee. Shifts over and then massive swing to stun the Wildcat defense. This match, or this set, is up for anyone's taking right now.
Wildcats have looked a couple of times like they want to pull away, but Texas Southern staying right with it. Another great pass from Carvalho sets up AJ Simmons.
And that's the AJ Simmons that we know and we've seen in previous matches. She's done so well here in this fourth set, coming in and executing, not doing too much, just doing her job, putting her team ahead little by little.
Wingo and Hemphill replace Gonzalez and Simmons now as the Wildcats are up 18-14. Battle drops back to receive it. Back hit slide off the fingertips. The Wildcats have really struggled for a couple years now to defend that backslide on the right pin. And Morgan McQueen has had a great game tonight. That's her 9th kill on 12 swings, hitting over 700.
Jeez.
Back to a 3-point game at 18-15. Make that a 4-point game as Keldry Young with the service error too long. Davis comes back in to serve. Riley Davis, who was the top defensive player on this Wildcats team 2 years ago, led the team in digs. That one just past the arms of Herndon. Couldn't direct it back to the opposite court, 19-16, but Davis has kind of been pushed out of that libero spot where she was 2 years ago when she led the team in digs, played in all 28 matches as a sophomore, but has stayed ready in kind of that backup DS role. Off high hands for Jennings. Here comes Texas Southern. Pino sets it up, Battle. Tip through Wingo. Hemphill behind the head. A short tip for Jennings, and Texas Southern keeps it alive. Battle again, off the block and out into the BCU bench, and it's a 2-point game, 19-17. We talked earlier, Jade, about how this Wildcats team is better at closing out sets than they have been in previous years. We're going to see that push to the limit right here. Not a great first contact by Shayla Henry. Jennings can't salvage much of it off the Carvalho set. Carvalho can't get to it. Looked to be almost a free ball back to the Cats from Ava Houston. Just hit it where they ain't, to use a baseball term. And it's a 1-point game, 19-18.
This is a pivotal point in this set for either side.
For the last 5 points for Texas Southern, it's Morgan Wingo! And she forces a misplay on the back line by Keldry Young.
Unfortunate for Young there, that ball just going right through her hands, but BCU needed that point badly.
2018, the Cats side out and put Carvalho on the service line. Not a great first contact. Sends Collier all the way back to the bench. Barely gets over for a free ball for Bethune-Cookman. Amaya Jennings off the block, covered by Hemphill. Back to Jennings at the far pin. Tipped far sideline and through on a pinball. Didn't try to do anything. Points.
Went back to Amaya Jennings after the ball had came back, and she executed so well. Wildcats in striking distance.
Pino can't get much on that one. Middle attack for Williams off the block, and Texas Southern recovers. A good cover from Jennings. Wingo forces Young to make a pass again. Back to Battle, blocked! Morgan Wingo says no at the near
And then makes the block to get the point for her team. She stepped in a huge role in this match so far and has done so well.
Wildcats 3 points away. Nice pass from Battle. Tipped over by Houston. Covered by Williams. Back to Jennings. Big swing off the block. Oh, what a save by Wingo. Back to Jennings, far pin. Rolls it over. Here come the Tigers. It's a dump to the middle by the setter. Hemphill covers it. Carvalho goes back to Jennings. Big swing off the libero for Texas Southern and outside the pin, and the Wildcats are 2 points away.
That is the definition of making it work. The entire play, I think, for Bethune-Cookman was out of system. They didn't have one in-system hit that entire rally, and they did something with it, earning themselves a point within 2.
Swiped out of play. Wildcat match points, and it's 6 match points for Bethune-Cookman as they've rounded off the last 5 points in a row. Remember, Texas Southern out of timeouts, can't stop it. Carvalho serving for the match. Battle's gonna get a swing at it. It's blocked but covered by Pino. From the back row, middle, into the net. Statement made at Moore Gym. This one belongs to the maroon and pink and gold as the Wildcats defeat Texas Southern 25-18 in the 4th set, and they win it 3-1, 25-19, 20-25, 25-20, and 25-18 as they hand the Tigers only their 2nd loss of the season.
What a match this was, Michael. The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats just battled from the beginning. First set, they made Texas Southern look so uncomfortable. They made them look rattled. Anybody who's stepping into Moore Gym, they're going to get a fight, and this Wildcat team showed just how good they are this season.
Sets up a massive match on Sunday against league leaders Prairie View at noon as the Wildcats win this one 3-1 over Texas Southern. Here are your final statistical totals from the match. Both teams equal at 54 kills, but Texas Southern had 20 hitting errors to the Wildcats' 18. Hitting percentages were close, but the Wildcats recover to out-hit Texas Southern 254 to 239. I want to see what the hitting percentage was in that last set, because the Wildcats definitely went into the 4th set behind in total hitting percentage. Yeah, 351 to 190 in that last set. As after that first BCU timeout in set number 4, they just ran away with it. 52 assists to 50 for the Wildcats, 9 service aces to 3 for Bethune-Cookman. They forced Texas Southern into 8 service errors. The Wildcats only made 4. Total blocks 10-4 in favor of Texas Southern. I mean, I guess you'll take the win, but I know Coach Williams would like the front of the net to be a little bit more solid than it was tonight. Some individual numbers for Texas Southern. Their leader in kills was Lauren Battle, with 14 kills off 32 swings with 4 errors. That's a .313 hitting percentage. Morgan McQueen was ridiculous. 10 kills, no errors on 13 swings, hit .769. And my big question with her is, why didn't they go to her more? Houston had 8 kills, no errors on 15 swings, hit .533. Collier had 8 kills, 4 errors on 22 swings, hit .122. for the Wildcats. Amaya Jennings, 20 kills, 3 errors on 45 swings, 378. Preston, 15 kills, 4 errors on 32 swings, hit 344. Simmons had 10 kills, 4 errors, hit 214. Wingo had 4. Williams had 3. Gonzalez and Herndon each had 1. The Wildcats were paced on defense by Stephanie Carvalho with 19 digs to lead the match. Lauren Battle also led Texas Southern in digs as well as kills, as she got a double-double, 14 kills and 10 digs. Maya Jennings, 22 overall points, as she had 2 block assists and 2 aces as well. The Wildcats win this one 3-1. 25-19, 20-25, 25-20, and 25-18. Jade, your final thoughts on a really good night at Moore Gym for the Wildcats?
It was an exceptional night of volleyball. Yes, they had errors. No team is going to be perfect, but this Wildcat volleyball team is a force to be reckoned with. They improved to 5 wins in a row with a Prairie View team coming in here on Sunday that's going to be wild for them. For them to get this win decisively in 3 and 4 sets is huge for the Wildcats.
The Wildcats move to 9-11 overall, 6-2 in conference play, moving them into a tie with Texas Southern for second, who also sit 6-2. Of course, they could be overtaken by Alabama A&M, who is currently 1 set to the good, but trailing late in set 2 against Alabama State. So I know what I'm doing when I get home, putting on that match. The Wildcats, again, win this one. They move to 6-2. Texas Southern drops to 7-14 on the season and 6-2 in Southwestern Athletic Conference play. For our CatEye student crew, Lee and KC, for Jade Barquette making your CatEye Network debut tonight. My name is Michael Cirillo. Thank you so much for being with us on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. We'll be back Sunday at noon Eastern for the Wildcats against Prairie View in volleyball. Until then, good night and hail Wildcats.